how I got disciplined by the bar, survived, and you will too. This is part 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. So my client's baby was eventually found 4 months later. And our efforts in discovery in the family court absolutely helped find this baby. So did internet sleuths. And honestly, the baby would not have been found if it wasn't for the community of online investigators who got involved in this case. We got phone records that showed us who those last calls were made to, and they were people here locally. And over the course of 4 months, there was enough pressure mounting so that this person eventually confessed. And that is the only reason that my client got his baby back. Mom and her parents were charged with custodial interference. They did some time in jail. Mom's rights were eventually terminated to that baby, and my client's new wife has now adopted that baby. So, but I was getting in trouble with the bar for violating the rights of third parties. And the rights of third parties that I violated was the grandparents in the case. And the bar was real mad at me for not seeming more remorseful. And I did try to sound remorseful through my bar counsel. Like, never talk to the bar yourself if this is serious and you could get in trouble. Always go through your counsel. I did try to be remorseful, but was I remorseful? No. These were bad people who had stolen my client's baby and framed him. And all I did was ask the family court judge for permission to get their documents. So no, I didn't actually feel bad. That's a big deal. So if you ever get in trouble with the bar, if you can swing it, if you can manage to be actually remorseful, it's a good idea. Under these circumstances, I just didn't. I felt like these were very, very bad people. Anyway, so I had a really good lawyer, and we managed to plead this down to an admonition. So I wasn't suspended. I wasn't, I guess, officially, there was nothing like put out in the magazine about how awful I was, which is great. But there is a court order from the presiding disciplinary judge that is pretty scathing of me. I found it the other day, and I'm like, what? We didn't even have a trial. How are you making findings outside of our settlement agreement? But he did. The point in me sharing this with you is that, like, it could happen, and it's happened to lawyers who have worked for me, and we're dealing with one of those instances right now. And now I have to do damage control as an employer, and it's not the first time that one of my employees has gotten into trouble. And if you practice law long enough in family law, or maybe in all areas of law, this may happen to you. You may find yourself defending yourself against the bar, and it's super weird because you're like, aren't we supposed to be on the same team? Aren't I a member of your organization? Aren't you supposed to represent my interests? But no, in that capacity, when the bar is taking that role of defending the public against bad lawyers, they're not your friends. They are straight up your enemies who are out to get you and get the toughest sentence they possibly can for your mistakes. I feel like this is something we don't really talk enough about. And we probably should, because since the bar doesn't really have our back when it comes to discipline, we should probably share these horror stories with one another so that we can learn from one another and keep our licenses. I'll also tell you that I don't know if that admonition and if that ruling out there has hurt me or not. I know that my firm has continued to grow, and I have had no shortage of clients, and many people have come to me because of how hard I fought for that father, but it's hard to know what type of impact that has. The other thing is I was also licensed in Oregon, and because of reciprocal discipline, they sent it to Oregon for me to be disciplined there as well. And Oregon said, nah, our rule isn't the same as yours. We don't think this is a violation, and dismissed it.